Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Draymond Green gets into scuffle, sends Grizzlies coach to floor. Another Memphis Grizzlies vs Golden State Warriors game, and you just know there's going to be some heat. This time, it was Desmond Bane from the Grizzlies and Draymond Green from the Warriors getting into it, with the referees having to jump in to break things up. It all started when Santi Aldama of the Grizzlies went head-to-head with Green after scoring a rebound against him. Green pushed Aldama, and things started heating up. The refs didn't intervene right away, so tensions rose. Coach Taylor Jenkins called for a timeout and went to talk to the refs about what went down. But then, Green got a bit too close to Jenkins for Bane's liking and tried to push him away, which just added fuel to the fire. Gary Payton II of the Warriors even tried to pull Green out of the mess, but ended up shoving him into Jenkins, who took a tumble. Luckily, things didn't escalate too far. Green and Bane got slapped with double technical fouls, but nobody got ejected, and the game continued without any more drama. Surprisingly, Green and Bane were seen shaking hands shortly after, showing some mutual respect. Now, Green has had quite the season, with a couple of suspensions under his belt for getting physical on the court. Once in November for tangling with Rudy Gobert, and again in December for throwing a spinning back fist at Jusuf Nurkic. The NBA wasn't pleased with his track record of unsportsmanlike behavior, hence the hefty punishments. As for the stats, Green's been averaging 8.8 points, 7.1 assists, and 6.0 rebounds per game. Despite missing some key players, Memphis still had Aldama and Bane in the mix, both familiar faces in the ongoing rivalry between the Grizzlies and the Warriors. These teams have had some intense matchups in recent years, from postseason clashes to Christmas Day showdowns. Sure, neither team might be leading the Western Conference this season, but you can bet the intensity is always there when they face off. Stephen Curry reaches 300 three-pointers for record fifth time. Warriors beat Grizzlies 137-116. The Golden State Warriors received a halftime message about taking control of the third quarter and making regular defensive stops, and they wasted no time stealing the momentum once back on the floor. They shared the ball and they took care of it. Stephen Curry reached 300 three-pointers for an NBA record fifth season and scored 14 points with 4 threes, one of 7 players in double figures as the Warriors beat the Memphis Grizzlies 137-116 on Wednesday night. He gonna do it again next year. I'm not surprised, teammate Chris Paul said. It's easy for him, he shoots the life out of the ball, takes care of his body. Jonathan Kuminga scored 26 points, Andrew Wiggins added 22 and 10 rebounds, and Klay Thompson 23 points off the bench. Paul dished out a season-best 14 assists, matching the second most by a reserve this season, in the team's 30th game with at least 30 assists. It was a fun game to watch, Coach Steve Kerr said, calling Paul's passing a clinic as the team finished with a season-high 43 assists to just 6 turnovers. Paul said he has been lucky to play basketball since age 4 and have some great coaches. He has a knack for finding the hot hand or the right look. I've been playing a few games, but seriously I watch this game all day every day, Paul said. I know this game like the back of my hand. G.G. Jackson too scored 35 points and Jaren Jackson Jr. had 28 for a Memphis team that lost 121-111 in overtime on Monday at Sacramento and now has dropped 4 straight and 6 of 7. Santi Aldama scored 15 of his 27 points in the second quarter and had 21 by halftime for the Grizzlies. His second straight three-pointer 2:30 before halftime pulled Memphis within 58-56. A pair of free throws by Jaren Jackson Jr. tied it at the 2:07 mark before Golden State scored 10 unanswered points to end the half for a 68-58 lead. The Warriors opened the third with a 12-0 burst. The last time the Warriors had a run of 22-0 or greater was a 24-0 spurt in the third quarter at Houston on May 1, 2021, according to Elias Sports Bureau. Things got testy between two teams with a heated history dating to the 2022 playoffs. After Moses Moody's three-pointer with 6:39 left in the second quarter put Golden State ahead 49-47, Memphis called timeout and Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins approached an official to talk. Draymond Green, who had tangled with Aldama beneath the Grizzlies' basket on the previous play, tried to get in on it and Desmond Bane reached out to restrain him. They each received a technical, then shook hands once things calmed down. Jenkins fell down during the fracas, but Kerr said they spoke afterward and he was okay. "We have a history with this team and it's always been very competitive," Kerr said. "They're tough. When we play them, there's usually some kind of dust-up." Kuminga made 5 of his initial 6 shots to score 11 first-quarter points and was 12 of 17 from the floor overall, while Curry hit his first 3 shots and was 5 for 9. Green, questionable coming into the game with low back tightness, started and had 10 points, 12 rebounds and 7 assists. The Warriors evened their home record to 18-18 after a 119-112 loss to the Knicks at Chase Center on Monday night. They have won 4 in a row and 10 of 12 at home against Memphis, which shot 7 for 17 on threes in the opening quarter and finished 18 of 49 from deep. Kuminga scored in double digits for the 8th straight game and 46th in the past 48. It was his 9th 20-point performance in the last 12 games and 22nd overall. Warriors rookie Brandon Podziemski drew his NBA-leading 35th charge. 5 free agents who should be on Warriors' summer wish list. The Golden State Warriors will be at a crossroads this summer. Some major decisions will be made that determine the direction of this franchise going forward, and no scenario is completely off the table. The easier decision for the front office will be regarding Chris Paul. The aging all-time great point guard is nearing the end of his career, and the Dubs will need to choose whether they want to keep him around for one more season or not. After that, their attention will shift to Klay Thompson. If the Warriors want to re-sign one of the greatest shooters ever, they can do so in the range of $20 to $27 million, which would give them the taxpayer mid-level exception. At that point, they can begin to look at adding free agents that could be signed for the MLE. These are 5 upcoming free agents that Golden State should have on their wish list. When looking at the Warriors roster, it is one of the smallest in the entire NBA. Only 4 players are listed as taller than 6'7", and some size is desperately needed. A bigger as well as experienced wing like Robert Covington would be an excellent investment. The Warriors leaned into their veteran movement when they traded away Jordan Poole last summer. They are still giving quality minutes to Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, but the addition of Chris Paul made it clear they are becoming more self-aware about their own timeline. Covington is a do-it-all 3-and-D wing that can be a floor raiser in many different roles. With Andrew Wiggins' inconsistency as of late, it would be smart to get some insurance with a player who can take on some of the same responsibilities. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation Robert Covington? Leave your opinion in the comments.